Alright, so we're back into the mining for 324. First run out. So far, from what I can tell, scanning looks a little better. For those of you who have watched past videos, I did the usual drop in from orbit. Looking for an open area with no outpost nearby. We're on Selin today, which still seems to be one of the better places for prospectors. Came up on our first cluster here, so we're kind of waiting to see what what we got. So far, only seeing one rock really worth anything. And being that's over 13K, we're probably not going to break it. Gonna try it with the Saber though. Currently running a Prospector with a Hofstede S1, the Riger C3, and then we're carrying a Saber for a gadget. We'll go ahead and sit down here, get the Saber on there, and see if we can crack it. So we'll go ahead and put a Saber on here. It's pretty much the same process that always has been. Pretty much equip it on your backpack. Those of you who have followed along before, I usually store them in my backpack so they don't disappear or get janked up. And I just equip them when I need them. I'm going to go to the side or the back of the rock to put it on. Try to remember that you're using the left mouse button, not F. Otherwise, you'll have to re-equip it like I'm getting ready to. A little rusty. Sorry for the delay in videos, but I've been kind of letting 324 play out a little bit and get some of the bugs out. I don't really go into making videos for a lot of the new stuff, but I'm more focused on like utility and gameplay. So every once in a while I might do something else, but for the most part that's where I sit. Obviously still got the issue with it being upside down, but at least it seems to be working now. Those of you that remember in 323 we had a lot of issues with gadgets. So they seem to have straightened a lot of that out. It's a lot more straightforward getting it activated now. So a lot of little quirks and so forth that we had in 323 seem to be kind of ironed out in 324. For those doing moles, apparently they still have the bug where it's hard to do anything with the turrets when the pilot's in the seat. So just keep that in mind if you're doing that. Although apparently you can rent those now. I've been mainly focusing on trying out the cargo gameplay, hauling specifically. So I'll probably get a video together of that here soon. So make sure you tune into that when I do, because I'll probably cover what I believe is the best starter ship for hauling. And actually probably the only ship you need for quite a while. Alright, so I skipped some of it. Kind of cut some of it out. You didn't need to sit here for 5 to 7 minutes watching me try to break a rock that ain't gonna break. The 13 is, almost 14 is still too much for the Hofstein. So we'll pack up the saber and go find another rock. Now, with some persistence and a lot of time, maybe you can still break one of these. But like most people, while I enjoy mining, I'm not really wanting to sit here for a half or 45 minutes to crack one rock. Same bugs that we've had. If you can't select something, try moving something in your inventory and then come back. And I guess we'll probably ought to get a drink here. For those of you that followed along, they've still got the situation where you can drink out of empty bottles if you just stack them. Which means really you only ever need 2 or 3 empties in your backpack and you should be good, at least till they fix it. Alright, let's go find another rock. Alright, so watching mine videos, you'll see some people run around in nav mode, some run around in SCM. I tend to prefer SCM, that way I've always got my shields on. Go ahead and check these last couple rocks we didn't look at. Alright, so nothing here. I have not had a chance to put the bigger bags on. Not sure if you can do that yet in the hangar. I'm gonna give it a try here at some point. I'll let you know. I've heard some rumors about bags falling through the cargo elevator and so forth, so we'll see what happens. I think you might still need 2 people to do it. So basically we just run along, typically below 1K altitude, see what we can find. And again, we're gonna keep pinging every so often so it doesn't disappear. We want to get our last ping in them about before you hit the 3. Because once you get below 3, it's usually not going to show up. Then you're looking for the little carrots there. In this case, we got a looks like a single rock further up. I was hoping that other one would be something, but it isn't. And a Bisonite. Yeah, not too worried about that. And it's a freebie too. There may come a day where we pick up stuff like that just because. But I knew I have another rock over here, so we'll go look at it. It looks like we got a triple here. Let's see what we got. Oh, oh, there's 4. Yeah, Quantanium. Nice. Little bitty rock. A little bit of gold. Nothing worthwhile there. Someday those will be worth something, but not right now. We got hauling missions. Eventually we'll have supply and demand. And there's some borace, but that's a bit big. We're not cracking that. Well, I'm not even going to try. We'll go over here and go for these 2 rocks. We got a smallish gold rock and a smaller quant rock. With any luck, we'll get enough to fill up. Actually, with Quantanium, if we can get this, we'll probably just go ahead and fill up here, regardless of what it is. Nice thing about the whole cargo storage at the stations is you can actually go ahead and refine aluminum and all that stuff. Probably should have brought a wave shift so I can increase the window. But we didn't, so we'll see. Like I said, I'm a little rusty. We'll see if I can crack this. Where I'm blowing it up. And there we go. We'll let that cool off a little bit. Just kind of keep the laser up there a little bit, so it doesn't go too far down. We'll go ahead and try to finesse this up in that little bitty window. This is where the Focus 3 would probably be better, but I haven't tried changing out modules on the fly out here. Yep. That one's probably gonna pop. Oh yeah, that's climbing fast. Yep. Let's go ahead and just back on up. Yep. Oh well. Sometimes them little rocks can be more dangerous than the big ones. So I guess we'll settle for gold. And you got a little torque imbalance. I'll try to cover some of the new features in some videos. A lot of them have been kind of done to death, so unless I can put a spin on it of my own, I may not bother, but we'll see. I will definitely do at least a hauling video, just so you can get kind of the gist of it and what my thoughts are on the best ship for it and the best type of missions. At this point, I've done some of the smaller ones, some of the bigger ones. And so far, I'm kind of preferring the probably 50 or less SU missions. Just seems like you can get more of them done. And the higher quantities at Junior don't really pay any better. But you usually only have to go to one location. Alright, that's a little better. Now you see the yellow outline and a purple as well? So that was just because it was sitting on top of another rock. I'm going to try to limit it to the higher percentages here. Unless I get close to the 32. Typically when I'm running around like this, I'll probably try to stick with 50% or higher. You know, I might go drop into the 40s, and depending on how close I am to full, I might even hit a 30 or so. But we're still early on, still have plenty of room. I'll grab that one so I can get to this one underneath it. Yep, there we go. That's a little closer. Yeah, since we're so early, maybe I'll stick with 30 something higher. Alright, let's see what else we got. A little over half full, so we'll see if we can find something else. Yep. Didn't realize that apparently I've only got a Riker C2 on here, so I need to change that out. Apparently need to be more cautious when you're putting stuff on. Got a little excited for mining, got in a hurry. I'm gonna be honest, while they've been shaking out all the bugs and everything, I've actually been playing Farming Sim. So, a little time waster that you can pretty much do whatever. And if y'all are interested in Farming Simulator, let me know in the comments and maybe I'll do some videos on that. At this point, we've been running a server for about the year or so for it, and we play on and off when we're not playing Star Citizen. Yeah, I guess we'll grab this little Terranite rock. Looks like it's got a nice little bit of SEU, and the high percentage is pretty high. Should hopefully be enough to fill us up. At this point, it's just a matter of getting that first run in. do some salvage missions, but unfortunately I got hit with that bug, so I don't see them at all. Like my contract manager has no salvage tab. So once I get that fixed, I'll probably go back to doing some salvage missions for just to make sure everything's working. %, aluminum chunk, that's a good sign. Means maybe we'll have some higher percentage. Oh, there we go. That's nice. Yeah, looks like a pretty nice break on the Steranite. Some pretty good percentage chunks here. Alright, what can we grab to fill up? Getting pretty close, so. Yeah, it's not. Looks like that's gonna be the best one. Yep. Looking at the masses. Decent percentage with a higher mass means you should get a little more. But they're pretty close, so it doesn't really matter. And we're full. There we go. There's the first run. Let's go get it back to the refinery. Once I get it refined and I can get it, then we'll go through, do a video on. From what I understand, you still have to deliver it to a ship, but then you can take it out of there and put it in your cargo hangar. So we'll see what happens. Alright, since I'm actually working out of Crusader here, I'll probably just go to Cruel 1. I have noticed you need to be careful because there seems to be a lot more pirates lately. You know, just today, I went out and did a couple of, was going to do some runs and ran into a pirate that had Crusaders staked out coming from Cruel 1. Working there with a Manus and an F8, just killing people as they come through. So, if that happens, you're not interested in PvP, just try to jump servers overseas or something and then come back. A lot of times that'll change your server and it won't be a factor. And of course, if you really are into PvP, then have at it. Alright, so I cut out the quantum jump, so you don't need to sit through all that. We'll go ahead and get this landed, get it refined. I'm going to stick with the Dinix solvenation, because I haven't really seen anything saying that's not still the best way to go.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
With this new personal hangars and so forth, keep in mind, whatever ship you go to a station at, that's not your home planet. They're probably going to give you whatever you need for that size ship. But that could be good. Then you don't have to worry about running all the way across the hangar. Yeah, it looks like we might have some wrecks here. Yep. Looks like there's an arrow. I think, maybe. No, maybe not. What is that? Doesn't matter. The prospector stuck in the cargo hold. Been hearing a lot about that, so just weave your way around it and get into land if you're in a prospector. Obviously, if you're doing haul missions, that kind of sucks, but go ahead and get a little repair and refuel going here. Now, if you run into this problem where it's not letting you click it, just go ahead and go off of it and back, and then come back and it should let you. A lot of people are interpreting it as, they'll click it once, if it doesn't work, then I can't refuel. That's not always the case. Running around in some aerial hazard armor. Just happened to have it in my inventory, so I grabbed it. Just threw some stuff on to go. Go ahead and get our ship stored here.
To the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Obviously, it takes a little longer now.
Please visit us again. Goodbye.
It's a trade-off for having your own hangar, I guess. At least in the small hangars, it doesn't take long. Oh, we hit the refinery. Get this processing. And obviously aluminum and all that isn't still profitable much, but every little bit helps. And at some point we'll have supply and demand type missions. We have to actually go ahead and collect stuff to sell it for our mission. So I figure I'll just go ahead and start collecting it all now. I don't plan on making it a focus, but if I get a little aluminum and stuff like that here and there, eventually it'll build up to be enough for a load. And that's just kind of like extra money, since previously we just kind of ignored it or discarded it. I don't mind an extra chip with a C2 or something if it means extra money, but there's got to be enough of it to matter. But now, since we'll be able to separate stuff out, it won't be an issue. Alright, so same as before, begin, then select your ship. I'm going to change it to Dinnick Solventation. Click on what you want to keep, and get a quote. You'll notice that one slider moved back, but it still shows a yield. So we're good. Just a little bit of a bug. There you go. 26 hours, we'll have about 100 grand. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Other than that, thank you for watching.